Hey Smokey, let's get lunch from the Marketplace food court.
You know what? That sounds good.
They have oxtails, pumpkin, curried lamb, lemon chicken, sweet and sour ribs, vegetable stir fry, and the variety goes on.
Their chefs are good. They'll set you right up with all the good carvings.
And don't forget the special dishes from the island.
It doesn't matter. No matter what you feel like eating, Marketplace will have it.
You know, it's quick, it's quality, and at prices you can count on.
Visit us 7 days a week. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Made for you daily at the Hamilton Marketplace Food Court.
You're watching Bermuda Tonight. It's Friday, April the 12th, 2019. I'm Diane Brewer, and thank you for joining us. Topping our news, a Supreme Court jury unanimously found 54-year-old Pernell Brangman guilty on all 3 counts of sexual exploitation and having unlawful carnal knowledge of a 10-year-old girl in the late 1990s. Jasmine Patterson tells us more.
The victim was 10 and 11 years of age when Pernell Brangman of Southampton sexually exploited her 2 decades ago. She tearfully recounted the abuse in court yesterday, describing how Brangman manipulated her to perform sex acts on several occasions between 1997 and 98. He would often visit the girl during her summer holidays, and he was in a position of trust. She testified that as a child, she did not realize what was happening to her was wrong, and later told him to stop. As an adult, she said she felt shame and wanted to put the incidents behind her. A formal report was filed to police by the victim in September 2017. Brangman, a hotel worker, called no witnesses to the stand nor gave testimony in his own defense. The jury delivered a unanimous verdict after 2 hours of deliberations at the Supreme Court today. Prosecutors said Brangman knew the victim had previously been sexually assaulted and took advantage of the young girl. She added, "We do have a child sex abuse in our country. Back in the day, no one discussed it or even reported it, but we have come far in educating our countrymen on child sex abuse." The Crown asked that he is remanded to custody pending a sentencing date, and the defense called for a social inquiry report. Justice Carlo Graves set the matter down for the June arraignment session when a sentencing date is expected. Jasmine Patterson reporting for Bermuda Broadcasting News.
Thanks, Jasmine. Meanwhile, child sexual abuse prevention charity SCAR says the man in this case displayed typical behaviors of grooming.
Most of all, we're grateful to the survivor for using her voice, for having the courage. And, you know, this was definitely, from what I read, this was a classic case of how child sex offenders groom children to gain sexual satisfaction from them, you know. And how do child sex offenders groom children and 10-year-olds? By using favorite foods, as in this case, or a gift, or many other grooming techniques and favors, manipulate their young and confused minds. As a country which is blessed not to have a statute of limitations, this is an example that it is never too late to hold accountable someone who steals innocence when you're young. You know, this is an example of what happens in a country when 15% of an adult population is educated in child sexual abuse and understands grooming. And our hope is that this brave survivor received validation today, received affirmation today, and trust in a system that can work. And we applaud her.
In other news, the Education Minister Diallo Rebane has confirmed that students from the troubled T.N. Tatum Middle School and teachers will be relocated elsewhere due to environmental concerns at the school. Our Trot reports on a special news conference on the subject this morning and reports water damage appears to be the chief culprit.
Education Minister Diallo Rebane appeared before the island's news media, keen on establishing the timeline that led to the abandonment of the troubled T.N. Tatum Middle School recently.
It was stated that T.N. Tatum Middle School parents and staff representatives had sent a letter to the Ministry and Department of Education, voicing grave concerns about the building, and a request was made that testing be conducted on the rooms and meeting spaces for air quality and levels of mold, and for repairs to be carried out. There was also a request for alternative learning venues to be provided. In that statement, we reported that we met with representatives from the school on Tuesday afternoon, and on Wednesday and Thursday of this week, students would report to Purvis Primary, Heron Bay, and Paget Primary based on their year level.
The minister pledged that the inspection report of T.N. Tatum will be shared with staff on Monday. The inspection process will mean students and teachers will not be at the school next week.
These requests from T.N. Tatum will require staff and students to remain out of the building next week Monday until Thursday. Friday is the Good Friday holiday. This information will be communicated to parents as well.
Cabinet Health and Safety Officer Titus Gordon said the inspection was extensive.
It involved a physical check, site visits, inspection of materials, supplies, the rooms, and basically all facilities at T&T Daytime.
Commissioner of Education Kalmar Richards wanting to make clear parents of affected T.N. Tatum Middle School pupils know the plan for Monday.
M3 students at T.N. Tatum Middle School will report to Purvis Primary School. The M2 students will report to Heron Bay, and the M1 students will report to the Hamilton Fire Station. Staff will also report to these sites. As advised previously, students should pack snacks and lunch for each day. T.N. Tatum Principal Mrs. Garita Coddington will meet with the M1 and M2 parents at 5:45 p.m. on Monday, April 15th at Bermuda College. At that time, she will provide specific details of next steps. I urge all of the M1 and M2 parents to attend this meeting, as specific information will be shared in reference to having the M1 and M2 students transfer to other middle schools for the remainder, for the remainder of the school year.
Embry students will continue to report to Purvis Primary for the week of April 15th and the week of April 22nd.
We've decided to keep the M3 students at Purvis until after they take the checkpoint exams. M3 students will write those exams on April 23rd, 24th, and 25th. And we certainly wish the M3 students all the best.
Minister Rebane adamant that the Progressive Labour Party government has not shied away from the infrastructure problems plaguing education. He said his team was surprised that the earlier report referred to the same problems today that were identified as early as 2013. Tarai Trott reporting for Bermuda Broadcasting News.
Thanks, Tarai. More news coming up, including your weekend weather forecast. Stay with us.
Are you a drone operator? Did you know there are now 3 no-fly zones in Bermuda? These include LF Wade International Airport, Police Headquarters in Prospect, and Westgate Correctional Facility. These no-fly zones have been created for everyone's safety and security. Any person who breaks these laws commits a punishable offense and may be prosecuted. Find out more at bcaa.bm.
There are many great reasons to consider buying a Kia or Toyota electric car from Bermuda Motors. Here are the top 5. You will be pleasantly surprised how much money you save over filling up a traditional gas car at the pumps. Plus, electric cars are quick and easy to charge. You'll be impressed by the smooth, quiet acceleration and comfortable ride of an electric car. In Bermuda, there's no such thing as range anxiety. With an electric car, you can typically drive more than 100 miles over several days without having to recharge. Electric cars need very little maintenance. They don't require an oil change, spark plugs, or tune-up, and there's no transmission or exhaust system to repair. Electric cars are awesome for the environment. They dramatically reduce harmful emissions and don't pollute our island's clean, fresh air. Choose an all-electric Kia Soul or the hybrid Kia Niro or Toyota Prius C from Bermuda Motors.
Wednesday, the 24th of April, Michael Ramsden returns to Bermuda, accompanied by fellow Christian apologists Alicia Wood and Vince Vitale, also of the Ravi Zacharias International Ministries. Once again, we tackle the mysteries and misconceptions arising from the Christian worldview. Has Christianity failed? Where is God in suffering? And why believe in fairy tales? Plan to attend this fascinating forum at the Mid-Ocean Amphitheater on the 24th of April at 7:30.
Free tickets at ptix.bm.
Welcome back. A deputy opposition leader, Leah Scott, is just back on the island after several weeks, but her constituents have informed her that the new bus roster is creating frustration. Ms. Scott went on to say that things will improve at the Department of Public Transportation when management listens to their workers. One major issue is the new schedule uses 32 less buses than the former schedule. More in this report.
I'm not just making perpetual comments about the bus situation because I want to nag at the government. You know, this is a key asset, and we need to make sure that our people are able to be mobile and to get around and do the things that they need to do. So the new bus schedule came out on the 12th of March, and, you know, on the 26th of March, the minister, I think, did an article in one of the news media to talk about the views of the public on the bus schedule. And I'm not sure where they got the results of their surveys from, because the ministry said that the results of the survey had been good and generally positive. But that has not been the case, and I don't know if you've seen any of the videos that have gone around about the frustration of people on the buses, buses going by completely full. You know, they've taken the number of buses that were in play, which I think was about 80-something, reduced that down to 50, and then they've increased the wait from 15 minutes to a half an hour. And that's ridiculous. You know, I had a constituent say to me that, you know, she was waiting for her caregiver and could not get out of bed because of the bus schedule. So this is not something that I lay at the feet of the minister, because the minister is not involved in the, I think, direct day-to-day administration of the Department of Public Transportation. To me, from the outside looking in and from sources that I have spoken with, there is a problem with the management at the Department of Public Transportation, and there is an issue with Roger Todd in particular not understanding or listening to the people who actually operate the buses. And so you've got a management issue here that needs to be addressed. And, you know, one of the things that is important is that management listens to staff. And a lot of times you get people in high-level positions who are very good at the position in terms of the book knowledge, but not everybody can manage people, and that's what's important. And I don't think that the people at the bus depot are being managed well, the staff and the bus drivers are being managed well, and as a result, the public is not being serviced well. And so that's what needs to be addressed.
In other news, a leading animal welfare activist says now is the time for the country to consider updating its legislation concerning the treatment of animals. Former SPCA chairman and veterinarian Dr. Andrew Medeiros spoke to Try Trot after social media videos circulated around the island of lambs being treated with cruelty. Dr. Medeiros, who owns the Ettrick Animal Hospital in Warwick, says he was appalled by the footage.
What was your first reaction?
I think, you know, I would say shocked and appalled is probably as close as I could get to describing it. It's a pretty sickening feeling when you see something like that.
Does it say, or rather, does the video say anything about the island's attitude towards animal welfare?
Well, I think it says something about a segment of the population feeling towards animal welfare. I mean, certainly it was encouraging to see the outpouring of comments from people, you know, obviously feeling very strongly about this and horrified by it. That's encouraging. But the fact that, you know, there are individuals that feel that this type of behavior is acceptable in any way at all is pretty shocking.
I'm wondering, because of the video, if now is the time it's appropriate for us to have a discussion, national discussion on the treatment of animals.
I think there's, you know, we've needed this for a long time, and certainly many of us, whether it's been SPCA or other animal groups or you know, people that are in the business like veterinarians, have been pushing for changes in our legislation, more education about care of animals.
When you talk about legislation, legislation to address what specifically?
Basically, the care and protection of animals. Our legislation is pretty archaic, and there have been attempts to update our legislation, and recently there have been some changes.
And that was Tarai Trott reporting. Well, turning to weather news, a picture-perfect day today. Let's go to AccuWeather headquarters to see how our weekend is shaping up weather-wise.
AccuWeather is presented by BF&M Insurance Group. We now go to AccuWeather headquarters.
Well, we have some pretty decent weather for you this weekend here on ZBM. Hope everything is good in your world. This forecast from AccuWeather is brought to you by the folks at the BF&M Insurance Group, and we have high pressure and control. It's going to be a really nice weekend. It's nice when it lines up well on the calendar. Satellite estimated rainfall showing the showers are well off to the south and east as the weather radar project continues in Bermuda. Again, officially no radar at the moment, but we don't need it with the weather set up like this, with high pressure and control. We're around 67 degrees, and it looks nice out there. Humidity is around 60%. Wind still somewhat active, 10 to 15 knots. A decent evening out on the water with improving conditions. Waves are shrinking, decreasing in height, 1 to 2 feet. Water temp around 72. And on the outside, we have 3 to 6 foot wave heights. So not many complaints. No warnings to talk about. So the upcoming tides here, we have low tide. The tide's going out at 8:59 tonight. Comes back in at 3:20 a.m. after we wake up. Another low tide at 10:02 on Saturday morning, and then we have a mid-afternoon high tide 3:51 p.m. So it's a mainly clear, quiet night, 62 degrees. No complaints out there in Hamilton or any part of the island for that matter. Nice day tomorrow. A little warmer as well. It's going to feel more like mid to late April with highs around 72, and that's more like it. You can see the center of our high pressure system is several hundred miles to our north, but it's large enough and influential enough to keep us in the clear here, at least for the most part. Now, we say clear in terms of avoiding bad weather. There may be a few clouds out there. We don't expect any real trouble, though, tied to this weather scenario for Saturday, and for Sunday we look good as well. Traveling down into the southeastern part of our region, down into the true Caribbean, we have Jamaica with some scattered showers, 86 degrees there. Into Barbados, we're around 86, but a drier setup. Trinidad, pretty warm. Spotty showers may briefly move on through the Windward Islands, but they won't last too long. And the gateway forecast for eastern North America and also London, England as well. We have Toronto warming up a bit at 57 degrees. New York, 66 with some showers. Boston, they're getting ready for the marathon, the Boston Marathon, coming up on Monday. It's not going to be as nice then. There will be some showers here and there on Saturday, mainly in the morning hours in Boston, but it'll be warm, 72. And by the way, the Boston Marathon forecast cooler with 50s for highs and widespread soaking rain on Monday morning. Into Atlanta, 82, decent weather. Miami, 86, nice and warm. And in London, we have a cooler setup, a little more March-like with some showers and highs in the upper 40s, around 9 degrees Celsius there. So we look good here locally. We're holding on to the low to mid 70s Saturday and Sunday with a mix of sunshine and some clouds. Monday looks good as well. Then on Monday night into Tuesday morning, there will probably be about a 12 to 18 hour window of time when showers will roll through the area, tied to a strengthening storm system that'll move into Texas and the southeastern U.S. over the course of the weekend. That'll deposit some showers in our area on Tuesday. Wednesday looks nice, a little cooler though. We'll send it back to you.
AccuWeather was presented by BF&M Insurance Group.
My name is Kevin Roberts. I'm a taxi driver / ambassador. My father's with BF&M, so am I. Half of my family always been seemed to be with Bermuda Fire Marine. I tried a different provider at one time, but I wasn't too happy with the competition. Because then it took too long to settle claims. They questioned every claim, and I never really had that problem with BF&M. I'm quite happy with it.
And you're watching the Friday edition of Bermuda Tonight. For the second time in 2 months, a temporary closure order has been issued to the Southampton Ranger Sports Club following 2 antisocial incidents this past weekend. The Bermuda Police Service has exercised its authority under the Liquor License Act of 51-A to close the club from 12 a.m. Sunday, April the 14th until 12 a.m. Monday, April the 15th. Acting Assistant Commissioner of Police James Howard, who's in charge of the Tactical Operations Division, issued the temporary closure this afternoon. Back on February 2nd, 6 people were hurt in a nasty incident at the club, and there were multiple arrests. Police closed the club for 24 hours under the Liquor License Act as a result. In other news, the historic dockyard in the West End is front and center for the annual Palm Sunday Walk. The Bermuda National Trust event starts at 2 p.m. from Cross Island. More on that in this report.
It's a 5-mile cyclical route featuring, lots of historical and natural features along the route. And give a chance to highlight some of the work that the National Trust does, as well as the local community and surrounding areas. As you know, we try to keep the exact route quite close to our chest until the event, because we do deal with some private properties, as well as, some buildings and that sort of stuff. But we'll be looking at a lot this year. We're actually going to be able to explore the National Museum and the Keep, which is partly held by the National Trust with conjunction with the National Museum. And that's actually one of the reasons why we can't have any dogs on the walk this year. We do usually try to ask people not to bring dogs, but this year it's particularly important because we'll be going into the keep where they have sheep that mow their grass. So we want to make sure that we don't disturb any of the sheep whilst we do the walk. So no dogs, and it will be difficult for prams as well.
Earl Basin will have all the latest sports news after the break. Stay with us.
You can count on us.
Purdue, fresh value chicken thighs with drumsticks, $1.99 per pound. Golden ripe pineapples, just $4.99 each, saving $3. Tide 2X laundry detergent, only $24.99 for a 92-ounce bottle. You save $2.06. SHOPRITE shredded cheese, just $2.99 for an 8-ounce package. MATCHLIGHT charcoal, only $7.99 for a 3.1-pound bag. You save $3.06. Visit our website at www.marketplace.bm for more weekly specials.
You can count on us.
Welcome to Furniture Walk. At Furniture Walk, we have one of the island's widest selections of top brand home furnishings, including Stearns & Foster, Craftmaster, Natuzzi, Universal, Bassett, and many more. Whether you're freshening up your living room or remodeling your entire home, we have all the brands and top quality furnishings you'll need. We also offer in-house financing. Can't find what you're looking for in store? No problem. We can special order it for you. Our website has an even larger selection of the world's best furniture. Stop by our Paget store and we'll be happy to help you get on your way to finding the perfect selection for your home or office. Furniture Walk, furnishing Bermuda's homes for over 30 years.
Turning to sports now, Raquel Evans competes in Olympic qualification sailing regatta. Bermudian football wins Goal of the Week award in the USA, and Bermuda's Carifta swimmers put the final touches on their preparations before heading off to competition. Earl Basin has it all in tonight's sports package.
We are just under 15 months away from the start of the 2020 Tokyo Olympics. The first major Olympic class regatta this season in Europe drew a record 869 boats sailed by 1,224 sailors from 67 different nations, including Bermuda. In a fleet of 86 Finn sailors, Raquel Evans took to the waters and finished 67th with 228 net points after 10 races. Evans' best finish came in race 10 when he crossed the line 13th. He would also register a 14th place finish in the 8th race and 16th in the 7th race of the regatta. Andrew Maloney from New Zealand won the event with 41 net points, while Giles Scott from Great Britain was second with 43 net points, and Josh Jr. from New Zealand was third with 68 points. Bermuda's Zico Lewis from Charleston Battery has won the United Soccer League Championship Fans' Choice Girl of the Week after earning 56% of the votes online. A report on the USL website, it stated, Charleston Battery winger Lewis has earned the USL Championship Fans' Choice Girl of the Week for Week 5 of the 2019 season after he sealed the Battery's Southern victory against Charlotte Independence at the MUSC Health Stadium with an outstanding curled shot that picked out the top left corner of the net. Staying with football, Nathan Trott has made a triumphant return to the West Ham under-23 team as they defeated Leicester City 1-0 in a massive Premier League 2 clash which could have a huge bearing on their destiny this campaign. Members of the Bermuda Carifta Swimming Championship team that will depart Bermuda next week put the final touches on their preparations for the championships with a training session held at the National Sports Center. Assistant coach Richard Goodwin explained the difference of this particular team as opposed to a team maybe some 5 years ago.
It's becoming evident that we have a good crop of kids coming through. They are getting into the sport, they're enthusiastic, and it can only spell greater things coming for the future.
Head coach Ben Smith explains just what's left to do for these swimmers.
1 week from today will be the last practice before the competition starts next Saturday. Tomorrow we will be doing a dress rehearsal. They'll be putting on their tech suits. They'll be kind of going through the routine that we'll be looking for them to do next week. A lot of what's going to happen over the next week will be mental as opposed to physical. You know, the hard work, the technical part is already been done. We've been doing that over the last 2 weeks, and really a lot of them, their club coaches have been doing that, you know, prior to this point. So really we think that it's just having them sharp, having them be enthusiastic about what's about to happen, and building a team, having everybody that is different from different clubs and different programs all together over the last couple of weeks and setting them up to perform well when we get there.
The Menders Tennis Management Tennis B-Bowl continued at the Fairmont Southampton tennis courts with quarterfinal action last evening. Tournament number 1 seed Mackay Witter advanced to the semifinals with a straight set victory over Hugh Seymour 6-3, 6-4. Number 2 seed Tego Bean also advanced after he defeated Nick Butterfield in straight set 6-2, 6-2. Also advancing to the semifinals was Rakai Burrows, who defeated Andrew Phillips 6-2, 7-5, and Andrew Painter defeated Jackie Lambert 6-4, 7-5. Meanwhile, James Finnegan and his number 91st ranked Florida Tech men's tennis teammates took to the courts to take on number 38th ranked Embry Riddle University, but went down 6-1. The best match of the night was the singles flight number 1 spot as Finnegan upset number 54th ranked Andres Donier in a tight contest 7-5, 6-4. This victory pushed Finnegan into a tie for the number 14th ranked player in all time for Florida Tech singles tennis wins. From the highlight reel tries and show-stopping tackles to the roar of the sellout crowd, the first ever professional rugby union match played in Canada was unquestionably full value for the fans, but a last-gasp try from the Nola Gold dashed Marcelo Wainwright and his Toronto Arrows teammates' hopes of securing a win in the club's 2019 home opener. A sold-out crowd of 3,081 took in the match at the York Alumni Stadium and was treated to an engaging back-and-forth affair that ultimately saw the visiting Gold steal a 35-31 win with a try on the final play of the game. I'm Earl Baisden with Bermuda Broadcasting Sports.
You can count on us.
YUKON Gold potatoes, $4.99 for a 5-pound bag. Don't forget your codfish for your fish cakes, only $5.99 for a 16-ounce package. Great for Easter Sunday, stovetop stuffing, just $3.29 for a 6-ounce box. TRAPPEYS Sugary Sam Sweet Potatoes, only $1.99 for a 15-ounce tin. Robin Hood bread and roll mix for your Easter baking, just $3.69 for a 3-pound bag. Have a safe Good Friday and a happy Easter from the marketplace.
You can count on us.
I close my eyes and I can see the world that's waiting up for me, that I call my own. I don't care, so call me crazy. We can live in a world that we design. 'Cause every night I lie in bed, the brightest colors fill my head. A million dreams are keeping me awake.
Over time, your mattress goes through a lot. That's why at Dreams, our experts recommend you replace your mattress every 8 years for a better night's sleep. Replace every 8 years and sleep better with Dreams.
For the world we're gonna make.
Made with care, handled with care, delivered with care. Now that's what dreams are made of.
At ProServe, we've got mail. Did you know at ProServe, we handle over 150,000 mail pieces per month. We have a full mail handler's license, secure, centrally located facilities, state-of-the-art digital printing, insertion, franking, and tracking systems. Even full mailroom operations management, along with experienced staff and the reliability to get your job done right. So whether the job is large or small, by hand or sprint pickup delivery, daily, weekly, monthly, or a one-off project, we've got you covered from start to finish with email confirmation. At ProServe, we've got mail. Call 295-7619 or visit proserve.bm and let's get it started.
That's our newscast. I'm Diane Brewer. Thank you for sharing your Friday evening with us. Everyone, have a wonderful weekend. Good night.